Hi everyone, it's Miss Austin. Today we are going to continue talking about the 3 R's. But first we are going to review what we learned yesterday. One vocabulary word we learned was to reduce. Reducing means to lower the amount of trash we throw away. So that is our first R that we learned. Our second R we learned is to reuse. Reuse means to use something again. Our third R we learned is recycle. And that means changing trash into new objects. Our fourth vocabulary term we learned is landfill. A landfill is a place where we bury trash in the ground. Okay, today we are going to focus on the first R. Does anybody remember what the first R is? You're right. The first R is to reduce. Reduce means to lower the amount of trash we throw away. So today we're going to be talking about reducing. So why do we reduce? Well, if you remember from yesterday, we are reducing because it helps us cut back the amount of trash we throw away. Reducing is simply creating less waste. It's the best method for keeping our earth clean. You might be thinking, well, why is that? Well, it's because it stops the problem before there even is a problem. By making less trash, that means there is less trash to go in our landfill. Okay, now we're going to talk about a couple of ways that we can reduce. The first way we can reduce is to turn the lights off when you're not using them. Even though you might not be able to see the waste from leaving the lights on, it wastes electricity and energy. So when we cut back on the amount of electricity, you will not only help the environment, but it will save your parents money too. Our second example is make sure your faucets aren't dripping. After you wash your hands, brush your teeth, or get out of the bath, make sure there's no water dripping from your faucets. The dripping water wastes water. Okay, our third example is to create a compost. Composting is taking things that come from the ground and mixing them in with dirt. It's a natural process that takes kitchen and garden waste and changes it into nutrient-rich food for the garden. The food will break down easily and become dirt. You can compost things like fruit, vegetables, eggshells, and almost anything else that comes from the ground. Our fourth example is pack your lunch in a lunchbox instead of a disposable bag. Although it might seem easier to throw away a plastic or paper bag than carrying around a lunchbox, disposable bags create a lot of trash. Think about if you would pack your lunch every day for school. Then you would throw away your bag, which means you would be adding about 180 bags to a landfill. Instead, if you brought your lunch every day in a reusable lunchbox, you would save 180 bags instead of them going into the landfill, which means you're helping the earth. And then if all kids did that, think of how many less bags there would be in the landfills. Okay, let's practice. What is one example of how we can reduce? So we just talked about 4 different examples. What is one example? Good job! I heard someone say create a compost. You are exactly right. That's a fantastic way to reduce. Thanks for learning with me, and I'll see you next time.